Okay, I've got the bad joint repaired as best I can manage. I may or may not have mentioned, but I am new at this myself. I mean, I did it in high school, but that's been a while, a little while, and it is proving a difficult skill to pick back up, apparently. Let's see how that one looks. I think that one looks terrible, but oh, there we go. Look at all that solder coming up off the board. But it looks like it is attached to the pad, so I'm gonna roll with it because this whole thing is turning into a struggle. I did one of these like a few weeks ago, and it was not anywhere near this much of a struggle. Heat up the parts, feed in the solder, and it should work. Well, I don't know. I don't remember them looking anywhere near this bad the last time I did it. But such is life. Let's continue this and see if we can see if it works when I'm done. That's going to be the real key, is it needs to work when I'm done. Heat the wire and the pad, and then feed the solder into the pad and the wire, not the soldering iron. Wow, that is an excellent example of a bad joint. Wow, look at that. You see how it's just sort of barely even touching the... You know what? I'm going to try something that worked pretty well the last time I did it, because it seems like this is just not getting flux from the solder very well. Like the flux is melting away before the solder can melt. So what I'm going to do is I've got some extra flux right here that you can see I've used a little bit of. And I'm just going to peel out a little bit. And I'm going to goop it on here where these joints are that I want to do. This is a cheat, but it works for me, so I'll take it. I think I need a bit more solder too. Okay, let's try this some more. Make sure my iron's nice and clean. I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see that it's shiny at the tip there. That's what we mean by tinning the tip. It makes it shiny so that it gives off its heat better. And you can see the solder and the flux melt. It Hey, suddenly it sticks to that pad so much better. Do the next one. I heat the wire in the pad, feed in the solder, and draw away. That one's ugly, but it works. Excuse me. I'm going to use this until I get close to burning my hand. Heat the pad and the wire, and then feed the solder in. Yep, that's getting warm. Well, that's not sticking to the pad because I'm bad at this. There's a great, hang on. If I can get it to focus, this one right here is a great example of a bad solder joint. You can see how it balls up off of the pad instead of making a neat connection. I'm going to cheat this one again too. Get real generous with the flux, because that's what you do when you're not very good yet, is you cheat. Big mess of flux on it there. Come on, melt all the solder. There we go. And just like that, you can see it's much more attached to the copper part of the board. And you can see that none of these are like directly attached to each other either, because that's not good if you short them across each other. Yep, this is. Let's cut some of these off where you can see. Right down against the solder. Unless the solder's sticking way up, and then I cut the solder tube. This one's so bad. I feel like I should go back over both of these, honestly, with some flux. Goop. Big old globs of flux. We'll check that the iron's still shiny, which it doesn't appear to be. So let's try tinning it with solder, if I can manage to pick up the piece of solder There we go. And all shiny again. Let's see if I can manage to correct these a little bit. Or if I can just mess them up worse. That just does not look like it's working well. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop here because this is turning into a very long video that's probably pretty boring. Yeah, I'll come back to this.